Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to this episode of Q&A with myself, your host, Dallin Hawes. And today is going to be on a topic that I don't talk about very often, and that I rarely, if ever, see financial advisors talking about. But I truly believe that it's important that we spread awareness and spread openness across my industry, as well as just so you, as consumers, as you are going about trying to retire, doing these things, that you have some information on how financial planners get paid, what it might cost to hire one if you're in the market for doing that. And many of you aren't, and that's fine. But many of you are, and it can make a huge difference to kind of have some education, some information from an insider, right? Because I'm an insider. I'm a financial planner, practicing. I work with clients, all that good jazz. And so that is what I'm going to talk about today. And truthfully, I've gotten a ton of questions through the question submission link that you can get to below on the podcast and on the YouTube about just, hey, what do you charge? What does it cost to work with you, right? And that's a great question. So we're going to dig into it, and we're going to first start, and I've kind of touched on this a little bit, but I'm going to get a little more specific today. So the first thing to know is, hey, how can a financial planner get paid, right? So it depends. There's a lot of different professions, honestly, that use the term financial advisor or financial planner, okay? So the first type of financial advisor you might find is someone that is going to sell a product. Let's say a life insurance product, or let's say an annuity, or some version of those two, right? And often they use the term financial advisor as a profession, right? That is one way. And so basically they sell these products to you and they get a commission, right? That's one way that some advisors get paid. Our firm doesn't do that, okay? But I just want to make sure you guys are aware of how some people might be paid, okay? The second major way that many financial advisors get paid is when they manage money, right? When you turn over however much money you decide to, and they actually manage it for you. They invest it for you, they do all that stuff, and they charge a percentage of whatever they're managing. And that fee, it ranges, that fee is generally going to range from 0.75% up to 2.5%. So there's a pretty darn big range. If there was an average, I'd probably have to say it'd be 1.5, right in there is probably an average, depending on how much money you have, is what a financial advisor might charge you to help you and manage your money, right? That's just as an insider, that's kind of generally where the fees are at, okay? So, for example, if you had $100,000 and you went to a financial advisor and they charged 1%, then they would charge you $1,000 a year to manage your money, right? And to invest it for you and do everything else that they do, right? So our firm does do that to some degree. That's not everything we do, but we do manage money if our clients are looking for that. And the clients that are looking for that are more of those types that, hey, I don't want to have to worry about this. I don't want to first making mistakes with investing. I don't want to make mistakes while moving money around between IRA accounts and the taxes and everything that comes into play. And I just want to enjoy my retirement, right? Those are more the folks that say, hey, I want you to manage my money. And a common way for federal employees that happens is, hey, often when you're working, most of your money is in the TSP, right? And so when people retire, the way that an advisor can manage your money is in an IRA, right? Because me as a financial planner, I can't manage anything in the TSP. That's not something we do, right? But as you know, I definitely don't always recommend that people move their money out of the TSP. It depends what you're trying to do. If you want an advisor to manage it, it can't be in the TSP. It's got to be in an IRA, right? But if that's not your goal or your plan, then maybe the TSP is a good spot for your money. I don't know, right? I've had many videos talking about some of the pros and cons. It just depends what sort of things you want to do with your money in retirement, right? So our firm does manage money. That's a piece. And our fees do vary depending on what we're doing. Our fees are going to be close to 1% most of the time. But again, if you're watching this video, I definitely can't promise it's going to stay the same, right? We've definitely adjusted our fee structure in the past and I'm sure we will continue to in the future. And generally, as firms grow, which our firm is growing very, very rapidly, generally prices go up, but I'm not saying I'm not planning on raising the prices anytime soon, but just so you know. I'm just saying, don't hold me to it if you talk to me in 2 years and our price structure is a little different, right? That's just kind of what I'm trying to say. So again, we manage money. That's one way we get paid, right? But often, for many federal employees that are still working, often, right, are planning for retirement, all these things, and a good chunk of our clients are not looking necessarily for someone to manage their money, but they want financial planning. They want help to think through all the benefits you have, to think through, okay, can I retire? When can I retire, not have to worry about money? What's the best thing with Social Security? What about Medicare? What about everything else going on in your life? When does it make sense to pull the trigger? And how do you invest wisely? All these things, right? People want help with this stuff, and that's the sort of stuff we do, right? And if they're not looking for us to manage their money, okay, how do we get paid, right? Well, often we just charge monthly fees in that case. If we're not managing money for them, then we're just going to charge a monthly fee. And that fee does vary pretty widely because some situations are very, very complex. There's a lot of moving parts, a lot of things we're doing for them, and so we're going to charge more, right? And so basically we charge a monthly fee, and that's going to range. On the low end, it's going to be about $200 a month. On the high end, we're talking $500, $600 a month, depending on what we're doing, okay? It could be more. Again, I'm not guaranteeing anything, when you sit down and actually talk with our firm, if that's something you guys want to do. But I just want to kind of give you an idea of, okay, what might this look like, right? Some people's situations are very simple, and there's not a lot of moving parts, and so they're going to be on the lower end of the spectrum, right? So it depends. It depends. Again, our fees may change in the future, but that's kind of what we do for now. And basically how we structure our services is during the first 6 months of working with you, with anyone, with our clients, we meet on average about once a month. And we go through all the different areas, like your retirement income, your taxes, your investments, your insurances, making sure everything's covered, and all these different things. We go through every area to make sure that you're getting the most out of everything and that you're on the right track to retire how you want, right? So for the first 6 months, that's kind of what it looks like. After that, we meet less often, depending on what we're trying to do, and we do less planning and more execution on the plan, and constantly adjusting the plan as needed. Whether, let's say laws change, taxes change, maybe your position changes, something changes, we're constantly updating and going doing like that. So, and basically how we work with clients, is we say, hey, we charge a monthly fee, right? That's how we get paid, but there's no commitment. There's no commitment to stay with us for any time at all, right? You could leave after a month, you could leave after 20 years, right? Some clients stay on with us for a long period of time. Some clients are just looking to stay on for the first 6 months to get a solid plan in place, and then they move on, right? It depends. It depends what you're looking for, and it depends what services you want, and if we're a good fit, right? And there's two things whenever I sit down with someone to try to decide, hey, is this a good fit? Is a good fit for you as the client? Do we have the services that you need? Is it going to work from your end? And then from our end, we say, okay, is this going to work for us, right? Sometimes there's personality issues that we're just not willing to deal with. Sometimes there's other things where we're just like, we're going to pass, right? We have no obligation to take anyone on as a client, and we realized and are continuing to realize that sometimes it's not a good fit on our end, right? We say, hey, there's maybe another advisor that can better serve you, right? And so that's kind of how we work it. We know that not every person is perfect for our firm. Not everyone can afford to hire an advisor, right? Not everyone wants to hire an advisor. Some people like to do it themselves. And that is why, everyone is doing something different, and why I do this YouTube stuff. And that's why I do, first consultations, where I'm able to sit down with people and say, okay, regardless of whether we work together or not, let's find some solutions. Let's get you some info so you can get started, whether you hire us or not, right? And for many people, and most of you listening here probably won't hire us, and that's great. That was never the intention for all the people on the podcast and YouTube to hire us, right? And that's kind of why I started this, so that those that either can't afford to or don't want to, they still have access to some great information, and then they can move forward. So that's kind of how we work with folks. Again, this is very much can be subject to change, and we have changed in the past, and I'm sure we will in the future. I can't tell you exactly how, but we're always trying to improve our services, always trying to make our firm more efficient and better, to better serve our clients, right? To help them retire, be confident, and as things change, we're going to adjust as a firm, right? That's kind of, as a business, that's what we're going to do. So hopefully that makes sense. Again, if you talk with other advisors, they're all going to do it a little differently. It's kind of a lot more evident, let's say with doctors or lawyers. We all know that lawyers kind of have a specialty where, some lawyers are going to be estate lawyers, some are tax lawyers, some are, copyright lawyers. There are lawyers for basically every part of the law, right? And often financial advisors are similar, where they have a specialty, where some people work with retirees, some people work with specific occupation. For example, our firm, the vast majority of our clients are federal employees, right? We specialize in helping federal employees get the most out of their benefits and retire confident, right? That's what we do. Some folks specialize in working with young professionals, right? It just depends. And so for you, the question is, hey, do I want help, right? And what kind of help do I want, right? Do I want a short-term thing? Do I want a long-term thing? What am I looking for, right? These are some of the questions to ask yourself as you're going through this process, because I know retirement can be super overwhelming, and some people are looking for help and some people aren't. Some people are more comfortable and confident than others. And kind of our philosophy as a firm is, hey, our goal, obviously we charge money to work with us, right? It costs money to work with us. And so our goal, whenever we bring on a client, is okay, we want to bring so much value to this relationship, so much value to our clients, that their return on investment for what they're paying us is so worth it. That is our goal every single time, right? And if ever we can't really do that, then it's time to have a conversation with our clients. Say, okay, is this still working, right? Whether on our end or your end, right? Is there something that we need to change or part as friends, right? That's always how we approach it, because it's never worth, life is too short to be in a client advisor relationship when something's not working. Life is way too short, and whether it means, hey, maybe another advisor is a better fit or whatever, a conversation needs to happen. So I know I've just kind of been talking about the industry and our services, but I wanted to be a little more transparent about what we do, how we do it, and what it costs, right? So I hope that was helpful. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out. Again, always in the description below, you can submit questions. You can schedule a consultation with myself or another member of the firm, and we get to sit down and talk. But again, no pressure, right? If you're getting all the value that you need here on YouTube or on the podcast, that's perfect. That is awesome. And I will continue to produce this stuff to help you out. So good luck with everything. I hope your journey to retirement is successful and that everything is going smooth and well. And I'm here for you. Again, submit any questions that you have, or put a comment down below. Give this video a thumbs up, whatever platform you're on. I hope this is helpful. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.